Right, let's look at 3 televised contests from the Knavesmire on Saturday, starting with the 205. It's the win 100 grand for free at sportinglife.com/pick7 now handicap. And the favourite is a horse called Battered. Frank, take us through the prices.
Yeah, Battered 7-2, Von Blucher 11-2, Salatine and Starlight Romance 6-1, Right Touch 13-2, Get Knotted 7-1, Twin Appeal 10-1 and 14-1 Bar.
DJ, take us away.
No, I looked at it for about 5 minutes, Bruce, and I couldn't even start to make head nor tail of it, so go on to the others.
Keels.
Yeah, right. Well, the first thing we need to know is forecasts are absolutely hammered down up at York tonight, so I'd imagine the ground's going to be soft. Good news for fans of Battered, who really does like soft ground. I don't think he's the most straightforward horse in the race, but he's actually better off with Starlight Romance, who he beat here a couple of starts ago. Starlight Romance has gone on the improve and might have been a little bit unlucky against Leo at Chester last time. I think it'd be between one of those 2 3-year-olds. I do like Starlight Romance. I think it's going forward at a fair rate of knots, but I think they'll have too much for the others.
Okay, Frank, you got a view?
Yeah. Look, it's not high confidence, but Getting Out won this last year off only £2 lower. He was second in the Air Silver Cup on soft ground off £2 higher than what he's running off tomorrow. He ran a decent race at Hamilton last time. He was probably drawing the wrong side, most of the pace over the other side, but he ran credibly. He was only beaten 3.5 lengths. He got dropped £2 for that, I think. So he's £4 lower than when he went off 7-1 for a handicap here back in June. He handles good to soft. He's won on soft in his early days. He should be involved, no, but it wouldn't be the greatest confidence. He's 7-1, so I'd probably have a small bit each way on him.
Get Knotted for Frank. Okay, the 240 is the Sky Bet Dash. Take us through the prices, Frank, and then you can go first with the tips.
Yeah, Ultimate Avenues 13-2, Normandy Barriere, George Bowen 8-1, Snapshots, El Hombre 10-1, Outdo, Alkea, Move in Time 12-1, Name It What You Like 14-1, and we're 16-1 Bar. Yeah, there's a horse in here that's just really consistent. Mutadab, he disappointed at Ascot, and the last day, yeah, he's run fair enough. Again, it's that Hamilton race that Get Knotted was in. He was on the wrong side again. But he's off the same mark as when just touched off on soft ground here 3 runs back. Alkea basically nabbed him on the line. He's on the same mark. He run prominently enough. There's plenty of these in here that I think you can put a line through. I think he's nailed on to be involved.
Okay.
He's an each way price at 16-1, so I'll have a bit on that.
Frank fancies Muntadab. Who does David Jennings fancy?
I'm pretty strong on George Bowen here, Bruce. He's up to a career, well, kind of a career high mark, or near enough to it. I know he was rated 3 figures a while ago, but he went up, I think, £11 for winning at Nottingham. But I think he's a type of sprinter. He's just coming to himself. He's in rude health right now. You'll see there he finished 7th at the Curragh last time, but that doesn't even begin to explain the story in the Scurry. He got no luck at all under Billy Lee, who tried to be as confident as possible, but just when he needed to get a run, he didn't get it. Switched out, flew home, was only beaten just over 3 lengths by Titanus. Even his form before that, he won at Nottingham, was third, close up third at Epsom. And the key thing here is I think he actually copes quite well with cutting the ground. I think his best ever performance was at the Curragh a couple of years ago, back in, I think it was the autumn before last. He won the Premier Handicap on yielding ground that day. Well, he actually, I think he just about won that day, but he was, I always thought that cutting the ground more kind of slowed the others down than helped him, and I think this race is made for him. I think he's still improving, and he's ran well at York in the past, so George Bowen for me, Bruce.
And who for you, Paul?
Yeah, George Bowen's one I put up in the weekend. I think 8-1 is very fair. Echo what Dave said. I was slightly worried about the ground. I mean, it was yielding when he won that Premier Handicap. The thing is, 2 years ago, I thought he was going to be a top handicap sprinter, maybe an Air Gold Cup winner in the making, and it all seemed to go wrong for him. And that Nottingham win was his first run since. But he just seemed like he was in terrific form, especially at the Curragh, when nothing went right for him. And even though he's almost up to the mark he was as a 3-year-old, I think there's more to come from him. I think he should be favourite. I think he'd take the beating. I point you in the direction if you can watch a video of Moving Times run last time at York, when he just got no sort of run whatsoever and probably should have won. Whether he's quite right for 6 furlong on what would probably be soft ground, I don't know. Quite a lot of these won't handle soft ground. Normally Barrier is second favourite. If it's soft, it's got no chance. A Mobster is an outsider with a chance if it goes soft.
Okay. You had a fresh haircut, Kills?
A couple of weeks ago.
How much do you pay for a haircut these
About
days?
£8.
£8.
Daylight robbery.
That's not bad, is it?
Well, it takes 30 seconds, doesn't it?
Do you leave a £1 tip or a £2?
I leave a £1 tip.
How much do you pay for your haircut, DJ?
It's €11.
€11. And how much tip?
Oh God, I wouldn't give a tip for a haircut. Like, we don't get tips for bloody writing articles. Like,
Oh, that's not the attitude, is it? You don't tip.
well, like I do in some cases,
tight,
but I
good.
actually don't. I don't really agree with it, to be honest.
That explains a lot. If you look at Dave's picture byline, you'll see that fringe isn't very straight. I bet, Frank, you tip the barber, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's normally, what is it? I think it's £20 for a haircut.
Well, you got some
€20.
hair then.
Huh? Well,
You
I'm
got some
running
hair
out,
then. You
Paul.
got some hair then.
As I said, if I get the next big win, it's in for new hair.
A weave. Excellent. Okay, the 3:15 at York is the class event of the day. It's the Group 2 Sky Bet York Stakes over 1.25 miles. Frank, take us through the latest betting from Paddy Power.
Autocratic is 5-2 favourite. Success Days is 7-2. Algometer 4-1. Hathal 11-2. Monday Elise 8-1, and we're 11-1 bar.
And DJ, you can lead on here.
Well, the key thing here is obviously how much rain they get, because Success Days is a complete mudlark. And I'll tell you now, right, if they get the rain that Paul is predicting, this could go off about 6-4. It really could, because it's just there's absolutely no comparison between his form on decent ground and bad ground. Like, he's got some incredible form on ground with plenty of cutting it. Like, he was beaten, I think, 1.25 lengths by Found, and Fascinating Rock was behind him in the Curragh one day, and that is head and shoulders the best form in this race. He's a little bit tricky, and he's had plenty of problems, and Ken Condon has kind of struggled to get him back to the peak of his powers. But if it does, like, that price he is now could absolutely plummet. I can't express this enough. He could go off close to even money if the rain does absolutely hammer down. And he probably will win, but one at a huge price, an absolute rogue that I think will run well, is Central Square from the Roger Varian stable. I thought it was very, very unlucky in the John Smith's Cup. It finished 9th, wasn't beaten that far, got no luck in running. If you remember at Ascot, he ran like a rogue that day in the Wolverton as well. I think he's got loads of ability, and I don't think if you take out Success Days out of it, I think it's a desperate Group 2, and I'd be willing to chance him at 20-1 because he's got loads of ability, but he's just a rogue. But as I say, if somebody fancies Success Days, maybe back him now because he'd go off much shorter.
DJ's very bullish about Success Days. Kills, do you have a strong view on this one?
Yeah, exactly the same as DJ. I think Success Days will win. If the ground goes soft, he'll go off in front. He might not get taken on. I think Elbereth could be the one to take him on, but it'd be away and gone away from these. Autocratic is favourite at the moment. I think the only time he's run on soft ground, he got well beat. Not sure the others are either up to it or will stay. Hathal, for instance, I don't think will stay. William Haggis thinks a fair bit of Victory Bomb, but this is a big step up in class.
Would you urge our audience to get on as quickly as they can then?
Yeah, I don't see him. He's 4-1 in places, I think, and I just don't think he'll go off anywhere near that price.
Righty-ho, Frank, what's your view on the race?
Yeah, I can see the lad's point, but a different angle into it. I thought Algometer would probably appreciate a bit of easing on the ground as well. He ran behind Autocratic at Santa on the Brigadier Gerard, but he was giving £3 that day and it was on fast ground. And I thought even on good to soft ground, he'd turn that form around off level weights here. I think he's 4-1. As big as 5-1 out there. I think it's an each way bet to nothing. I think if the rain does come, Success Days will be tough to beat, but I think this fella give it will serve it up to him. Like, you have to remember, he beat the likes of Prize Money in Dartmouth last year, so he's a solid enough yardstick, and I chance him each way at 5s.
Kills, 8 declared for this race. What price are you the 8 run?
Well, I can see Autocratic coming out if the ground goes very soft.
Okay.
So,
righty-ho, where else are we racing on Saturday? We've got Salisbury, we've got Newmarket, we've got Newcastle, we've got Lingfield, the Curragh, Chester. There's absolutely tons. Any other horses that aren't your nap that you'd like to flag up? Paul Keeley, you go first.
Yeah, 250 at Newmarket. I've got the name of it. Storm something. Storm Star?
It's like Graham Rodway.
Yeah, no, Graham Rodway wouldn't have even said the meeting. Storm Rock.
Storm Rock, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, Storm Rock. He ran a couple of races on the all-weather in the spring and was no good there. And then he was 4th or 6th last time at Salisbury over a mile on easy-ish ground. Now he's a mile and a quarter horse these days. Last 2 times he ran at a mile and a quarter on easy ground. He won a handicap off 87 pretty easily, and then he ran fifth to What About Carlo, a close fifth to What About Carlo at Newbury on soft ground last year. He gets his conditions for the first time. I think he'd go well. 4:20 at Chester. You have to back Blythe Spirit. He's run 15 times at Chester. He's won 5, but when he's been drawn 4 or shorter, he is 4 from 5. He's drawn in stall 2, same stall as when he won it easily last year, and he's £9 lower this time, having run his best race of the season last time out.
Lovely stuff, Kills. DJ, the floor is yours.
Not too long, Bruce, you'll be delighted to know, but in the 4:05 at the Curragh, I think it could be worth giving Magic Bear another chance. A 4-year-old filly trained by Eddie Lynham. She was a very disappointing favourite at Cork last time, but I just didn't think that things went right there, and the ground could have been a little bit too quick. She was brilliant when she won a handicap at Navan earlier on in the year. She's off a mark of 84, but I think Eddie thinks quite a bit of her. Usheen Orr, who's a really good young rider in Ireland, making a name for himself, takes the ride. He takes £5 off. So Magic Bear in the 4:05 at the Curragh.
Okay. I don't suppose Oisin Orr's middle name is Xavier, but I would love someone to have the initials OXO. I think that would be really cool. Frank, I bet you've got a few for us, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. Chester 2 o'clock, Buridan was absolutely smashing the betting on debut at Windsor. Richard Hannon, it cost 360 grand. It just about won, but I'd say Hannon's horse are coming on a favourite. The 2-year-olds coming on a favourite for the run. It's entering the Jim Crack. If it's going to win that, it'll have to be winning that 2 o'clock race. I actually agree with Paul on Stormrock. I had that in there.
Only a pound. At me when you
I wasn't laughing. I was laughing. I thought this is one I'd have pulled out of left field. No one else would have. That's why I was laughing. It won off 88 last year. Salisbury. It's off 87 here. Gets conditions for the first time. I think it could be a double figure price potentially. Maybe not after Paul putting up now, but yeah, I can see that going well. In the Curragh, 145. New to town of Jim Bulger was second on debut. Just touched off by a horse of Gerlines called Camelback. That's gone in again at Naas. The third that day was Medal of Honour, who was a well-beaten second behind the Pentagon at the Curragh. Unless there's something really special in this race, that should be winning if it improves any bit for the debut run. And the 3:30 Silver Coat, it's 2 from 2 at the 2 from 2 at the Curragh. Last run, it beats Severus, who went on and won a good handicap at the Curragh the last day as well. It's only gone up £4, and it looks progressive. It's only had, I think, it's 3 runs ever. So, yeah, it looks progressive. I think that might be able to go in again.
Okay, it's nap time.
This will not be beaten.
Paul Keeley.
Yeah, for me, 2:40 York, George Bowen.
David Jennings.
5:35 York. Number 1, John Kirkup.
Okay, give us a quick line on why you fancy that one.
Back over 5, soft ground. I thought it was the moral winner. Tried to give almost a stone, £13 to Mr. Wagyu last time at York over 6. Looked the winner half a furlong out. I think 5 is better. Soft ground, has good form at York, has good form on the ground. I think a mark of 86. I think it's probably a little bit better than that.
Okay, Frank Hickey.
The 4:10 Ascot, Tigre du Tiers of Richard Hannon. It put up a massive debut a couple of weeks back, over 7 furlongs in Ascot, winning by 4.5 lengths. It was really weak in the betting. I think went off 14-1, but it generated a time form figure of 90 plus, which is a massive indicator to huge potential. The Hannons won this race previously with Tornado. This is one that won't just win tomorrow. I'd say this is going to be winning big races in the future.